Once formed, Take That put together a dance routine, oiled their pecs, sprayed on their cycling shorts and headed to the gay clubs of the Northwest. Nigel was certain that entertaining the boys would polish their act and maybe even gather some fans.
The way he was going to break the band to begin with was through the Pink Pound, to go to the gay clubs, the gay magazines and get the boys known through that way and build up that fan base.
I think he was the first to really do that. I mean, Bros had obviously had some kind of gay market, but they'd never been specifically targeted. I mean, Tom Watkins always used to say the market is young girls and gay men, you know. Nigel Martin Smith took that a step further, and they did endlessly do PAs of Heaven and little gay clubs right around the country.
It was quite a good place for us to, you know, start out and learn our trade.
I just used to think, what on earth are you doing, Rob? Because we were all into, like, you know, rap music and crazy music like that, and just thought, nah, that isn't you.
They were always semi-naked, they were always in leather with studs.
They used to look sort of gay in a really corny way.
Exclusively pursuing the gay market didn't build Take That's profile enough to secure them a deal with a major record label. Eager to release a single, Nigel Martin Smith remortgaged his house, set up his own record label and paid for the boys to make their first video. A visual feast, with extra helpings of jelly and custard.
I seem to remember Robbie having these kind of shorts that kind of came over on the shoulder as well, so it showed his chest. Very camp a lot of what we're wearing.
We had jelly and ice cream in our earlobes, up our arse for the next 3 months. But it was fun because it was new, you kind of felt kind of special, it was your first video shoot and you wanted to believe that something was going to happen from it.
Do What You Like was released in July 1991.
And there we was all listening to Radio 1, waiting for it to come in the charts.
And as it was counting more and more down, we were getting more and more excited. And it got to number 2 and we were like, maybe you know, we've gone straight in at number 1.
I think we found out later it went in at number 97 or something. And we thought, oh no, this is bad.
Take That broadened their appeal, swapping lycra and nightclubs for dungarees and school assemblies. Maybe the teen market would pave their way to the top of the charts.
We were doing under 18s discos, over 18s discos, we did 2 schools a day, we did gay discos, we was basically working our asses off.
And here they are in the sunbed tanned flesh. Jason, Gary, Howard, Mark and Robbie heading for a return concert at Burnley's ritzy night spot.
Rob would come back and he'd be absolutely exhausted. He was working really hard every day, probably 7 days a week.
All their hard work paid off. In September 91, the boys signed to RCA Records and released their first single, Promises.
We had a huge coup because we managed to get them onto Wogan, which at the time was the biggest entertainment programme around.